Hello everyone, it's me Ryan, and today I will be ranking the second playlist of the Random Encounters Challenge named the RE Challenge. If you haven't already seen my original video, I'll put it in the description and I'll leave it right here if you need it. I pretty much went over everything in my first rating video, so if this is for some reason the first video you're watching, then you should probably watch the video before this to get caught up. If not, then let's get right into it. Alright, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This playlist is actually a really good listen. Though the playlist was somewhat composed of slow songs, and as you guys know, what I said the last video, slow songs aren't really my cup of tea, but it evened out with some, if not most of the songs, having a bigger cast or a better vibe, so that is something to look forward to. This playlist also contained way more songs than playlist 1, featuring an extra 5 songs. If you're too lazy to watch the full video, then here are my rankings for the entire playlist 2 songs. Here are the rankings for the top songs. Here are the rankings for the middle songs. And here are the rankings for the bottom songs. I just finished a test for the playlist, which I got everything right, as you guys know I should, and I'm super proud of it. As I said, I'm not really in this for the giveaway merch that they're giving out for the, correct tests, but I'm in this so then Random Encounters possibly have the smallest chance of noticing me and being like, hey yo, this homie seems cool, you know? Anyways, Random Encounters, if you're watching this, I am a baritone and I'd love to be in any song, be it a sequel or a prequel of an already existing song. As long as the condition is that it's not Big the Cat 2. God, I hate Big the Cat 2. All jokes aside, let's do this! Playlist 2 is released on 3/20/21 and featured... Oh no, okay, here we go. Alola Form, Arkham Rock Opera, Baldi's Field Trip, Best Fiends Forever, Bowser's Castle, Emergency Meeting, Everything's a Puzzle, FNAF Sister Location, Friday the 13th, Hyrule's Warrior, If I Was an Inkling, Kindergarten 2, Tales of the Wind Waker, Slender, Luigi's Mansion, Little Nightmare, Nicole, Number 1, Pac-Man, Papers, Please, Phasmophobia, Pikmin, Pokemon University, Resident Enos, Sonic Boom, Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion, Console War, Little Misfortune, K-Roll Way, People of Smash Bros, Pulse of Volot, Watch Out, Angry Birds, and Wii U. There's 5 more to explain the last time, so let's just get right into it.
Come Alola, Alola, I know.
Alola Form is about Pokemon Sun and Moon. After a trainer finds out that Pokemon that are born in Alola regions have different looks and forms, he forces his Pikachu to do many different things to try and switch him to its Alola form. This of course doesn't work, and as it's basically the Pokemon equivalent to pet abuse, Pikachu kind of runs away. All in all, while the cast might only have 2 people, AJ and Vinify, the lyrics are really fun and upbeat, having an accompanying ukulele as an instrument in it, which I'm a sucker for because I own one. I say I dislike this song, but I do occasionally find myself singing the lyrics now because of how catchy the lyrics are. The song vibe check barely passes only because of its lyrics. The beard cameo is around the middle of the song, which the trainer looks at all of the Alola forms of the Pokemon and he's seen as a Diglett. This was also my first listen. Arkham Rock Opera rocks! This song has to be one of my favorites now, and I barely knew it existed. Thank God for this challenge. Anyway, the story of the song is that Batman goes to a church or some kind of building to arrest Black Mask. He then gets jumped by every single Batman villain, including Catgirl. They sing about how exuberant they are to take down the Dark Knight on this dark night. Cast for this absolutely stuns me. It has the awesome Katie Herbert and Scott and the good old AJ and Peter, Miss Bird, and a bunch of other YouTubers and such. The cast for this is awesome and I just straight up love it. Accompanied by some pretty rockish type music with an opera stop in the middle for Catgirl, this song is beautiful and I definitely play it in a car or while doing homework. The beard sadly doesn't cameo on this and it was my first listen.
Out here on my own, collecting wooden sticks.
Baldi's Field Trip is decent, sadly. For the high rating I gave it in Playlist 1, I was so excited to listen to the sequel to Baldi's Basics. It's based on the camping game mode in the original game, and it does well to portray it. The cast is the same, even the principal, which only has 2 lines, but to be fair, they're pretty funny lines. The story is that Baldi's Basics class goes on a camping trip, and Baldi instructs AJ to keep the fire alive. AJ does so reluctantly and has to fight and convince Jump Roping Girl to get her sticks and try not to get his sticks taken away by the bully. By the end of it, they're successful, and Sweeping Time throws him into the fire. The lyrics are fine, not as catchy as the original, but it was fun. There's also a small jingle that plays that references back to the original song, which I just love to hear references to the original songs. And the song vibe just sadly doesn't pass. The beard does show up though as a reference to Bigfoot, and this was sadly my first time listening.
Best fiends forever, that is all it takes to take slugs down.
You know, it's really weird to think about Baldi's field trip not living up to its ancestor because Best Fiends Forever far surpassed its ancestor. As you guys know, I really dislike the original Best Fiends song, but this song was kind of more open about the fact that it's a sponsor, which in itself is funny to hear its lyrics. The song is that Miss Bird tries to convince Gwen to download Best Fiends. Peter has a few lines as Miss Bird's boyfriend, and overall, the cast is fine. It's actually refreshing to hear a song with both Miss Bird and Gwen in my opinion. The lyrics are funny and kept me engaged, and the vibe gets a close yes, which surpasses what the original got. The Beard cameos in this listening in on the song, and this was my first listen.
There's a million ways to die inside a Bowser castle.
Bowser's Castle is based on Super Mario Maker. As Peter plays the many impossible levels of Mario Maker, Miss Bird, who's the singer for the song, taunts him in all of the ways you can die in Bowser's Castle. The cast features very little, having Peter as the optic focus and Miss Bird as the auditory focus, with a beautiful cameo from, you guessed it, Grayson the Cat. I say the cast is actually really well done. The lyrics are only decent, nothing really that important or special about it, and the song vibe is just a no. That gives the song its low rating, but it's not really getting saved by its cast or anything. This was my first listen.
Imposters are among us, like
Emergency Meeting is based on Among Us! This song is so sussy! The cast is sus, the lyrics are sus, and the vibe is most of all sus! I rate this song sus out of 34! Alright, but all jokes aside, the lyrics portray the song very well, and the cast, besides them being masked, also sang very well. The vibe is meh, I probably wouldn't listen to it on my free time, but some of my friends have and I do respect them for it. The Beard sadly doesn't cameo in this, and this was my first listen. Why would I not listen to an Among Us song, guys? Come on.
Everything's a puzzle, a mystery to me.
Everything's a Puzzle is based on Professor Layton. Professor Layton drives Luke around solving as many puzzles as they can. Luke starts to question Professor's tactics and asks him if what they're doing are actually puzzles. At the end, they get arrested and meet with Phoenix Wright. This actually sets up the Phoenix Wright supercut, which sadly isn't in this playlist yet, but just like the Rhythm Thief, this song did make me go down yet another anime-themed phase. Unlike the Rhythm Thief though, the lyrics are only decent. It's upbeat and fun, but that's just about it. I could probably close my eyes and choose a random Encounter song and listen to that if I wanted fun and upbeat. The cast is Nathan and AJ, which is nice, and the vibe overall just barely passes. I have the song on my Spotify for some reason, so I just listen to it if it turns on. Professor Layton robs the Beard's car in this song, and it wasn't my first listen.
Full of blood and tears.
As we stay hot on the trail of songs not living up to their ancestors, Blood and Tears is set in the FNAF Supercut universe. I actually don't know where this is set between, but if I were to give a guess, I'd say it's set between the beginning of the FNAF Supercut and the end of the Pizzeria Sim song. AJ is a security guard searching around the FNAF sister location. While that happens, Baby sings a song about wanting to escape the facility. The clock turns 6 AM right before Baby can attack AJ, and he requests a transfer. This actually doesn't happen, but it's my headcanon that the phone guy leads AJ to be a janitor in the FNAF Supercut store. Anyways, the cast features Miss Bird mostly and AJ at the end. The lyrics are well sung, and I'm not dissing Miss Bird at all, she has a wonderful voice. However, slow music, as I've said before, isn't my type, so that means it just won't pass the song vibe. Beard sadly doesn't cameo in this, but the original voice for the phone guy came, so that's fun. This was also my very first listen.
But I'm not scared of Jason, just a simple...
Friday the 13th was released when I was really into the Friday the 13th game, so it was a godsend to me. The story is just musicalizing the stereotypes of everyone who plays the game, which I honestly really enjoy. Peter, AJ, Nate, Miss Bird, and Gwen are all in this song, and it is just a really good listen. The lyrics are comedic and funny, and the vibe has been passed since this song just really makes me happy. The Beard cameos in this leaving with Nate in the car, and this isn't my first listen, as you guys can obviously tell.
They sing songs, they tell tales.
Hyrule Warrior's Heart is actually a really enjoyable song to listen to, and as I listen to more and more of these Legend of Zelda based songs in the playlist, it really makes me want to play the games despite I never have before. The story of this is that Ganondorf, Link, and Zelda all get invites to become the Hyrule Warrior, aka Smash Invite. They all fight over who the best Hyrule Warrior is, and eventually, Agatha is crowned the Hyrule Warrior. The cast is nice, being AJ, David, and Colleen. The last two being people we actually never really heard of that much before in this entire playlist journey. The lyrics are actually really enjoyable and they do a very quality job at showing the entire view of the games through each three characters' perspectives, and it passes the song vibe, definitely. This is now a song I would listen to during homework. The Beard doesn't cameo in this, and it was my first listen. I swear, if by the end of this playlist journey I end up playing Legend of Zelda, I'm blaming this.
All the little English shouting booyah, booyah.
If I Was an Inkling is based on both Splatoon and Smash Bros. Ultimate. AJ catches Nathan playing Smash Bros, which for some reason is actually an ongoing theme, as the same thing happens in ARMS, and it inspires AJ to sing about how much he wants to be an Inkling. Unlike ARMS though, Gwen sings along with him, and honestly, the fact that they filmed this in a skate park makes them look actually really badass. The lyrics are catchy and not slow enough to bore me, and the cast is the usual three peeps. The vibe definitely passes, and while the Beard doesn't show up in this, it definitely hypes me up to want to get Smash Bros. Ultimate. Kindergarten 2 probably would live up to its successor, but in this case it doesn't, only because I haven't played Kindergarten 2, so I don't really get the references in this. The story for Kindergarten 2 is that AJ goes to school, meeting the new terror of Penny, an android girl who has laser eyes and makes everyone in the school quake in fear. In the end, AJ destroys Penny and the janitor has to clean it up. The cast, just like Kindergarten 1, features only AJ in different clothing. He actually did really good on the janitor, to be honest, because it felt like that was an entirely different person. The lyrics are fine, nothing really special or catchy about it, and usually if the lyrics aren't good, the song vibe won't pass. No cameo from the Beard like last time, and it was my first listen.
I've sailed the seas on the breath of the ocean breeze.
After getting disappointed of Kindergarten, Legend of Zelda Tales of Wind Waker raised my spirits right up. The story for this song is that Link, Tetra, and Ganondorf all go over to, coincidentally, the same bar. They all sing their different perspectives of the Tales of Wind Waker story, and it's honestly a really enjoyable song. I can't put into words everything great about it, but from the huge cast of people lounging around the bar to the ongoing joke of a guy mistaking Link for Zelda, and the return of the Ga Ganondorf chorus when Ganondorf enters the bar, I remember when I said I didn't like the chorus, but these songs are really changing it. To find out who Toon Link was, I went to the description for this cast. Around this time, I started noticing in the cast a person named Katie Herbert, which I also remembered was Barbara Gordon in Arkham Rock. That'll be way more important down the line, so just keep her name in mind. Either way, the cast was spectacular and the lyrics were straight up amazing. Overall, the vibe 1,000,000% passes. No Beard though, but this was my first listen. I loved it through and through.
Lost in the woods with no map or compass, left in the sea.
Lost in the Woods is based on Slender Man. It's a fun take on the Slender Man story, as Slender Man is lost in the woods and starts to put up papers to ask for help. As people take Slender Man's papers, they scare him, and it shows the story of Slender Man actually being more scared of us than we are of him. The cast features only AJ as a singer, but also Peter and Miss Bird later on in the song. Having AJ be the main singer for Slender Man, the lyrics are only decent, but as I said before, the story makes up for the lack of good lyrics. If the lyrics were good, it would pass the song by, but sadly it doesn't. The Beard jump scares in this, and this was my first listen.
I feel the presence of spirits from beyond.
Luigi's Mansion the Musical is based on Luigi's Mansion. Luigi goes to suck the ghost out of a haunted house as Audrey Soares plays as Elvis Gadd and Jules plays as Gooigi. They explore the house while the ghosts, voiced by Katie Herbert and Kevin Clark, try to scare Luigi to death, or something. I kind of really wasn't paying attention. The cast is great and portrays their characters fine, but it hurts to say this because Audrey Soares is a goddess and I kind of used to be obsessed with her Undertale covers. The lyrics and vibe don't really live up to the standards of any song above this one. You know what would save this song though? A Beard cameo! Sadly, there isn't one, and I guess you guys can count me as a ghost too, because I'd die if I'd had to hear this song again. The ups and lows of this playlist really show, since up until now the pattern has usually been good song, bad song, good song, bad song. But the pattern will stay, as Little Nightmares is considered a good song to me. I never played Little Nightmares at all, mostly because I'm fatally afraid of horror games, but this song really changes my mind on it. The story goes as Gwen wakes up. She has to go through the many traps of this dangerous room, and each time she dies, she has to restart, going back to the beginning and waking up. I'm the least capable person to be writing this song, but even so, I really enjoyed it. The cast is just Gwen, but there's nothing wrong with it, as songs like Minesweeper, Kindergarten, and Knuckles Rap which are all considered solo songs, have gotten actually pretty decent, if not good ratings in the previous video. The lyrics are slow, but not slow enough for me to lose interest and get bored, but they do well at explaining how the Little Nightmare game works. It passes the vibe, and the beard is actually a really important part of the song. A photo of him is on the wall, which has a secret key behind it. This was my first listen, and I really enjoy it.
When I'm weak and feeling
Nicole, ugh. I fell asleep halfway through the song, honestly. The story is that the protagonist sings a painfully slow song about what he would do to find his girlfriend Nicole to his therapist. The cast features whoever is singing as the protagonist, an actress for Nicole, and an actor for the therapist. This song, while it doesn't quite fill me with rage as Best Fiend, and while it isn't as bad as Big the Cat, it's just really one of the worst songs in my opinion. They're all good, but oh boy. To me, Nicole just doesn't live up to anything. The beard cameos in it as an ice cream man, which is nice, but it's the only thing that keeps the song kind of bearable. It was my first and last listen.
Off the bus and floating down, I'm gliding through the air.
Number 1 is actually not that bad of a song. AJ tries to convince Gwen that he could play non-childish and cute games by trying to get a win at Fortnite. Overall, the cast features AJ, Gwen, and your boy, Rami Kurami. I still don't know how to say your name, I am so sorry. The same person who sang the Baby I Love You song in FNAF, and the same person who sang Arms of a Fighter. The lyrics are fine, there's nothing really special about it, but it's catchy, so that's just about it. It probably won't pass the song vibes, but the beard does show up a lot here, being the person who ends up killing AJ over and over again in Fortnite, which, to be honest, is pretty funny. This also was, surprisingly, not my first listen.
Hi, good evening, pleased to meet you, my name's Blinky.
You guys are not gonna believe this one. Okay, get this. Pac-Man the Musical is based on, you guessed it, Pac-Man! The story is basically the ghost harassing Pac-Man about how much they want to eat him, and that's about it. The cast features AJ, Casey, and Peter along with a few others, and while the lyrics are really funny, it just doesn't compare to any of the other animation type songs. The vibes do, however, pass, I'll give them that. The beard cameos as a ghost in this song, and yes, it was my first listen.
come to our most glorious nation.
Papers, Please the Musical is basically following the same story as the game. Peter plays as the border control guy as he scans the passports of the various people going into the country of Arstotzka. This song came to me at the peak of my Papers, Please phase, where I really wanted to play the game, thanks to Markiplier, and for that reason, it isn't my first listen. Along with the cast having AJ, Miss Bird, Peter, and Nate, the original few, it makes it a classic. I think that's how it works, right? With catchy lyrics and a hella good vibe, with a beard cameo at the end, this song is actually a pretty good song in my opinion. Phasmophobia is a fucking awesome song. The story is that 3, well technically 4 ghost hunters go into a haunted house to try their best to find out what ghost is haunting the house, just like the Phasmophobia game. The cast is the usual 3, Nate, AJ, and Gwen, along with the beautiful voice of Nate Wants to Battle, which automatically raises the song up by like 10%. The lyrics portray the game perfectly, and the music video visuals show off the personality of each individual character super well. AJ being the determined one, Nathan being the cautious one, and Gwen being the cocky one. Along with Nate Wants to Battle being the, spoiler alert, ghost all along. The twist is awesome, and I enjoy this song so much. It definitely passes the song vibe, and I'd hella play it during homework. The beard cameos in this as a ghost drawing, and this was surprisingly my first listen.
If you're stranded and abandoned in outer space.
Let's go! We finally broke the chain of good song, bad song. Pikmin the Musical is also such a good song to listen to. The story of Pikmin is that Captain Olimar is hiring Pikmin for his team. At first they're showing off their abilities, and then they start fighting each other over who's better with some beautiful masterpiece of overlapping lyrics. In the end, he says that he's hiring 3 people and they come in agreement with each other. The cast for this is, well, awesome, featuring Peter, Miss Bird, Katie Herbert, and Anna Bartlett. It's actually the type of slow song that isn't boring but really calm, and it passes the vibe check. The beard cameos in this at the very end after all the Pikmin get rejected. And this was my first listen.
We're on our way, first day of class.
Pokemon University is yet another great song. The song features kids, or well, trainers, going to Pokemon University and getting taught by the many professors of Pokemon. The cast is huge, featuring a bunch of Pokemon YouTubers, and even Nate Wants to Battle again. I love the music video for this too because the school they film in reminds me a lot about VGHS, and that makes me happy. The lyrics are pretty good as well, as they tell the story from the students' views and switch between that and the professors. The vibe definitely passes, and the beard is even here as a photograph. This was also my first listen.
Chapter 54, page 105.
Resident Enos is not that bad of a song. It's based on Resident Evil, but with a happier twist as Enos, the vampire, tries to help save a dying man from a hellhound wound. The lyrics are pretty upbeat and chaotic to listen to, which I'm a fan of, and while Markiplier and Dodger barely have that many lines of this, it evens out with the small cast. The vibe is decent, and I might listen to it in my free time, who knows? The cameo with Beard is very small as he's a demon that Enos is trying to summon. This is also my very first listen, so that's Pog.
You're in my clutches, fallen prey, it would seem to my...
Sonic Boom is a good song, acting-wise. Based on Sonic Boom, whoa, who would have known, the main Sonic group finds themselves locked in Eggman's trap. Eggman tries to end them in many different ways, but, you know, just ends up failing in the end. While the cast is pretty big and features a bunch of people, including Casey reprising his role as Knuckles, it just makes up for the bad lyrics, and the acting of everyone is just super well done. The vibes don't pass if I were listening to it, but it definitely would pass if I were to watch the video in my free time. Unfortunately, the beard does not cameo in this, however, this was my first listen.
Scaring's been my dream since I was 9 years old.
Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion! Oh my fucking god, I love this song so much! I'll get to why I love this song so much, but I have to explain the story first, so just stick with me for a little bit. The story basically just follows the game as Spooky wants to become the scariest person ever and summons demons and such to try and scare Gwen. It doesn't work that much though, as Gwen easily just walks past the specimens or just ignores them straight up. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, now let's get to the part where I tell you guys why I love this song so much, okay? So, remember the name I told you guys to remember earlier? Quick quiz! What name did I tell you to remember? Was it A, Katie Herbert, B, AJ Pinkerton, C, Casey Dyer, or D, Scott Leverett? If you thought A, then you're right! Katie Herbert is literally the most underrated actress in Random Encounters. Her acting and singing are awesome, but not in just this song, all of the songs that she's been in. Consider this channel a Katie Herbert appreciation channel. Anyways, this isn't the only song she's awesome in, but just wait till later on where I explain that. The cast just features her and Gwen, which in itself is fine. I love both actresses, and Nate comes on later as a Scytheman, which is also pretty funny. The lyrics are fast-paced and enjoyable, and the vibe overall is something I definitely listen to. Actually, I already listened to it, like 6 times already. The beard cameos in this at the beginning as Specimen 1, and this was my first listen.
Today's the day the console war has begun. We're launching.
Console War is kind of outdated now since the PS5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox One X is already out, but nonetheless the song is still enjoyable. As the consoles portray some kind of transformer, the leaders of each console are fighting each other on which one's the best. The cast features Michelle, Katie, and Jennifer, with a cameo from Miss Bird at the end. I barely know of anyone in this song, but their singing was great, so the cast will get a thumbs up from me. The lyrics are slow but enjoyable, and the song vibe I will probably let pass. The beard doesn't cameo in this, and this was my first listen as well.
Misfortune, every choice has consequences.
Little Miss Fortune is yet another song I like because of the game. I remember watching MatPat and Steph playing Little Miss Fortune and really enjoying it. Then Random Encounters posted a song about it, and it was pretty good too. The story follows basically the same concept as the game, but it's very condensed. The narrator, played by the Stupendium, tells us that Little Miss Fortune, played by Gwen, will die. Miss Fortune hears the narrator, and he tells her not to mind what he said and to play a game with him. Miss Fortune asks to bring a toy with her, which actually was decided by community vote, and they continue on in the song. Eventually, they meet a fox named Benjamin, who is played by AJ, and Miss Fortune, who has a crush on Benjamin, sides with him in the end over the narrator. Overall, the cast is great, and the lyrics do a really good job of portraying the game without spoiling the big twist at the end. Gwen also did a really good job at portraying Miss Fortune's voice accent very well. It surely passes the song vibes. The beard cameo is waiting for the bus, and this wasn't my first listen.
What a fortuitous stroke of luck for you to meet this savvy.
K. Rool Wait I have very mixed feelings about. The song is based on K. Rool running for president, and while the cast is fine, featuring AJ's K. Rool and Devin and Casey as the bodyguards, the lyrics run on for so long it just kinda gets repetitive and annoying. I do like this song, it's just, if it weren't so long it'd be better. The vibe doesn't pass, and the beard shows up around the middle of the song getting beaten up, sadly. This was also my first listen.
Since the 64, I've been in love with Smash Bros.
I'm starting to get good song, bad song whiplash here. The People of Smash Bros, however, is actually a really fun listen. The song is based on the Wii U Smash Bros. And the stereotypes of the people who play it, be it the tryhard, the person who doesn't know how to play, the generic player, and etc. The cast is actually really well chosen, having AJ, Miss Bird, Port Center, Midnight Marinara, and Peter. This song's lyrics and music is beautiful in the way that it's soprano, tenor, bass, baritone, and another baritone as Peter jumps in near the end of the song. And the vibe passes pleasantly. There's no beard in here sadly, but along with that, it isn't my first listen.
Welcome to Vault 68.
As it becomes more and more apparent, I go through many phases of video games. Fallout is actually one of them. The story of Vault to Fallout is, well, Vault to Fallout. Sung by the inhabitants of Vault 68, 43, 77, and 108, they all tell us what horrible experiments Vault-Tec puts them through. But they're also being blind that this is Vault-Tec's fault and thinking it's safe to be in the Vault than to be in the Wasteland. The cast is great, and in my opinion, Scott being in anything kind of raises it by like 5%, just because it's Scott. The lyrics are catchy and perfectly shows the blindness of the character's feelings that it's Vault-Tec's fault, and it passes the vibe because I listen to it all the time. The beard sadly doesn't cameo in this, but I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but for the next 3 songs, he won't have a cameo. Though, this is really pog for me because I don't have to edit the video, so it cuts to the scene that the beard is in, so who's really winning here? Anyways, this wasn't my first listen.
Link, watch out! I think the water's rising, Link. Look.
Let's go! Welcome back to the Katie Herbert Appreciation Post. Watch Out is literally the best song ever! While the story is just the many ways Link can die, with Navi being annoying saying watch out to him, the lyrics do this song so much justice, and Katie being the voice for Navi is literally angelic. Now, I could go on a rant about how much I love this song, but first of all, can we talk about how the animation for this is literally awesome? All the bad ratings for animation songs have accumulated and made this masterpiece of a song. It's not animated by Random Encounters, but instead animated by Marlene Animates, but this animation is literally the best animation for a song I think I've ever seen in a Random Encounters video. The cast is just Katie, but that doesn't stop anything, because I've rated solo songs pretty well, and this takes the cake on the solo songs, to be honest. The lyrics are so good, and even though it's just Link, watch out, it doesn't get boring with the repetitiveness, and overall the vibe has passed because after listening to this for the first time, I proceeded to listen to it on loop in my free time. I just can't get enough of this song, I love it to bits. Anyways, Katie Herbert is a queen. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this was my first time listening.
We hate green pigs.
We Hate Green Pigs is based on Angry Birds. The story is just all of the Angry Birds singing about their traumatic experiences with green pigs and just how much they hate them. It's not really much to say about this song except that the twist at the end that the green bird was a pig the entire time was pretty funny and got a genuine laugh out of me, and that's about it. The cast is fine and the visuals aren't really much, just puppeteering, but the lyrics are funny-ish. The vibe doesn't really pass, and sadly the beard appears in this. As I rewatched it, he cameos as a green pig that they destroy. This was also my first listen.
There's a small shiny box from Nintendo.
Wii U lands a perfect spot, right in the middle, kinda. The story is that Andre enters Game Portal and is looking for the Wii U. AJ and Angie sings a song about the Wii U's awesome features and try to convince him to buy it. Overall, the cast is nice. I enjoy both of their singing, and Andre's acting is actually really great as well. The lyrics overlap each other most of the song, and as you guys know, yeah. So I very much enjoy this song, and it unquestionably passes the vibes. This was also my first listen. Well, that's it. Thanks to the extra 5 songs, I had to record an extra 2 pages of lines for this video. But it's all good because I really enjoy making these videos and editing them, even though editing is kind of boring and mundane at times. Oh my god, I'm a fucking masochist. Anyways, I've been thinking about the 5th video of this series, the overall ranking of every song, and I've been thinking, it's not fun just ranking all the songs, so I'll be adding a few awards to that video. Just like stuff like Best Song, Song of Most Cast, Best Lyrics, Best Playlist, and stuff like that. You know, just keep that in mind as we continue on with the series. Well, that's what all the script says, so I'm just kind of ad-libbing right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff right now. Currently my Google Sheet says that we've already done 64 songs out of all 164 of them. I'm pretty sure that playlist 2 is the longest playlist, so I'm pretty sure that playlist 3 will be shorter. No. Wait, no, this... You're joking, right? No! God, no! But what Misfortune doesn't know is today is the day that she dies. Welcome to Vault 68. A place that could use Omen's touch.